Welcome, everybody. Race 11 of the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series season. We are live from Watkins, Glen. It's the Seneca Lake 110, 45 laps coming up here at Watkins Glen International. Qualifying about to begin. I'm Carmen alongside me, as always, Kevin Young, to present tonight's race from Kevin's hometown or home race here tonight. Kevin, we welcome you back to Watkins Glen. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. It's not really my hometown, but it's relatively near, so it's good to be a home state racetrack, I should say. But yeah, this is going to be quite fun to see how these Gen 4 cars go around in this machinery. It's going to be quite fun to see, and hopefully it's going to be very attackful and very aggressive with these drivers, because we know that these cars can be very loosey-goosey to try to drive and be a little bit of a handful, so trying to get these cars turned left and right are going to be quite a challenge to see.
Qualifying, as I mentioned, about to begin here. Some cars already on track. We'll see if we can pivot to one of them. Cade McKee being one of those on track. Same with Philip Snipes, Lilac Zier, and Emily Howe.
Yep.
As everything kicks off here at Watkins Glen for the first of 2 nights in a row. We'll be here tomorrow night for the ABN Champ Car World Series as well on the same layout. So it's going to be a very quick race here tomorrow evening.
Very fast lap, especially in the Champ Car machinery, not going through the other section here. And not as complex.
Absolutely. It is always a treat.
So yeah, as you're currently watching the number 27 machine here. She's about to, Cade McKee is about to start their lap in question, and that Ford Fusion, he'll be the torchbearer. He'll be the one that sets the time that the others will have to try to beat. And he's down off the first straight, and you can just see aggressive on the brakes, just trying to get that car planted in the one.
It's not easy. This car going to be a little bit of a handful. Drivers will have to wrestle it across these 45 laps coming up.
Yeah, this car's a handful on ovals. Now try to make it go left and right with the turning ability of a tank. And that's what these drivers are going to have to experience, 45 laps. And for the ones that can wrestle it correctly, they're going to be the best chance of victory. We do have a few road course ringers in this field, and we will see them as they come across our timing and scoring screen. But right now, looks like the 27 doing a pretty good lap right now. Could find maybe a tad more time, but Cade is really getting that car what he needs to right now.
Of course, last time we were here at Watkins Glen, it was the RX A² Cup Series, and that was a thrilling race on Sunday evening.
You had dueling in the first stint. You had fuel strategy possibly play out, cars going out, and you had a little spoiler there, the number 62 machine, Ada Norman, putting down blistering hot laps, almost inhuman, you would say, to take that win in that race. So coming across the line here, the number 27, what can Cade McKee do here? What time can he put down? It's going to be a 1:12.22, which is already going to get bested by the current points leader, Emily Howe, who jumps up to a 1:11.93 for her troubles, and that will be lap 1 done in the books for her. Philip Snipes comes next, and that's going to be a 1:13.36 for him.
Lilac Zier went 3rd fastest. She'll go to the 2nd row as things currently sit right now, as we wait to see what Ruby Acosta, Josh Gaiman, Caitlin Height, Amity Pulsatrix, and Emma Kruger can do. Kruger getting ready to leave pit lane now. There's a 70 of Kruger.
Yep.
Speaking of champ car.
She was here for Daytona. After that, the other scheduling conflict, she wasn't here for a lot of those races, but she's a road course ringer in the finest sense of the word, as she very excels on these road courses, and she'll be someone to keep an eye out in that number 70 machine.
Again, Lilac Zier going through the carousel here for her 2nd lap. Josh Gaiman in the final corner for his 1st lap. 11 career wins for him, trying to make it 12. Already an illustrious company. In ABN history, he goes 3rd fastest on the leaderboard, ahead of Caitlin Height. Emily Howe set a better lap time, 1:11.67 for the Prismatic Motorsports driver.
Raising the bar that much higher for these drivers to try to have to jump through. Clock ticks by. One car we noticed may not be able to set a time here right now as I'm looking through the connection screen. Nicholas Pressey, hometown race for him too. Had a connection issue at the moment. Has not rejoined yet, and this time clicks by. We know he's a great qualifier, And we saw him the fastest at the top of practice, so he's maybe trying to rush to get back in here, and it's not going to be an easy feat to come from the back to the front of this track.
Josh Gaiman on his second lap time. See what he can put together here. He's, again, sitting in row 2 at the moment. 3/10 separates him from the front row. See what he can do here. Out of turn 7 for the last time. Where does it put him? Is it good enough for a front row start? It is not. It is slower by 3/10.
He's going to be kicking himself a little bit there. Probably thinks he left a little bit of time on the table. But at the same time, he is quite fast on these road courses, so it'll be definitely an eye to keep out of the 61. And he's near that bubble line right now for the chase. Not as comfortable as he probably would like to be. So he's looking for a good finish here to fully cement himself inside that top 12 with only 2 races to go for the chase cutoff race. That was like 1 race, this race, and the last race, and that's the chase cutoff race. And the chase would start in 4 weeks.
Kelly Hyatt looking at her as her Queen's Design machine tries to join her teammate Ruby Acosta near the front end of this field.
Kelly has been putting some good performances in the number 66 machine. Just slowly been getting better and better as the weeks have gone by, so see what you can do. Looks like she'll tow back to the pit lane here. Nicholas Presley has rejoined the session with about 3 and some change to go. He's on track right now at the moment, so he will at least get a lap out of it. And that number, new paint scheme's rocking for him too. That Home Depot machine. Last time we seen something like that, we've seen it on Briley Wright. I think it was at the opening race for Daytona. So rocking some new orange colors. With short laps around here, he should have enough time to do 2 laps, bearing any other connection issues. Ooh, Emma Kruger, big lick in her qualifying. Keeping an eye on her. That will be lap 2 in the books done for her. She will not improve. Start P11 at the moment. Could be a little bit farther down, depending on the rest of the field does. But Nicholas Presley, only car on track. And looks like as the clock ticks by, he probably will be the last car to attempt 2 laps here. So we'll see what he can do in that 94. Can he challenge Emily Howe's top time of 1:11.67? He's going through the bus stop right now, just throwing it in there as much time as he can get. Want to take it as straight as you can. Last couple corners there. Good weight transfer of the machine. Lap 1 in the books, where we'll put the 94 up the P6. 0.94 off Emily Howe's time. So 94 is across the board. Can he go faster? Ooh, little clip of the grass there. And that is going to be lap number 2 done in the books for Nicholas Presley. No improvement he will have. Yeah. And Emma Kruger obviously just finishing up her second lap here because she crashed on the second one. This time will not be an improvement, but just using this last time here to practice. As according to her own words in the chat, She didn't have any time really to practice this car on this track. So this is basically the last bit of warm-up she is going to get until the warm-up time that also is the driver's meeting. She may get a little extra time there, but this is going to be one of the last few laps she'll have. Try to get customized to this car and this circuit. With no other car going across the line here on a competitive lap, Emily Howe is going to take another pole position for her troubles, and she will lead the field to green with Cade McKee, and Ruby Acosta top 3 here in qualifying.
Alrighty. Practice comes to a close, so we're going to step aside for a second while this warm-up is underway. Obviously, drivers will go through the drivers' meeting. Ruby Acosta, Cade McKee, Callie Hyatt, Philip Snipes, Josh Gamo. We'll go over the starting grid here in just a few minutes' time here at Watkins Glen. Everyone's got 10 minutes to get some final stuff checked in and put together before everything gets underway. right, drivers' meeting is, for the most part, looks like concluded for the most part. Drivers on track at the moment with 3 minutes left in warm-up here at Watkins Glen International. Again, a walkthrough on this track. We'll pull this information up here. 45 laps, 110 miles, thereabouts, estimation there. 79 degrees, 93 degrees, the track temp actually a lot cooler than people were expecting, especially for this late in August. 8-mile-an-hour winds shouldn't have a terrible play on how this race develops. Shouldn't have a terrible feel on how these cars handle through the corners here at Watkins Glen, seeing as how it is left and right turns, and there's a little bit more grip in these cars just because it's on the road course. Setup handling a bit different than what we would typically see at, like, obviously, like next week's race at Richmond. So these cars can be a little bit more forgiving when it comes to the wind. 62% humidity, though, means that these tires could be screaming by the time the race is over anyway. Partly cloudy skies means that track temperature will still go up as this race continues to go forward. Strategy. Two very distinct strategy calls potentially in play in tonight's event. There's a two-stop strategy, which we feel most of the drivers will go on in this race, and then there's a one-stop strategy. If you can split this race in half and make it on a single stop, that requires some fuel saving, but you can do it. How many people go with that one stop and how many stick with the two stop, which is expected to be the common denominator here this evening, remains to be seen. If it's a two stop you're looking for, easiest is to break it up between 15 lap intervals. However, you could kind of play around with that as much as you want to in this event. Whereas if you're wanting to do a one stop, lap 23 is your magic number here at Watkins Glen. It's not impossible, but requires you to stay from the start.
We've seen it. We also saw it happen last Sunday. Yeah, no, different machinery, different everything. But it's still weird. We saw it last Sunday in the A Square Cup Series race. We saw two cars, Emma Kruger and Daniel Michel, both elect to try the one-stop strategy and made it to the end on one stop. Now, and it worked. So it is possible to make it work if you can hit the magical number you need to hit, which is around 20, 25 laps. You need to hit that magical number, and if you can do it, you can make it a one-stop. The only downside is that you got to make sure you get a gap, or you got to make sure you have enough pace, because if you don't really have the pace in that machinery, you can still make a net gain spot. The problem is, though, you'll be a sitting duck in the second stint, where the cars around can go all out while you have to save some fuel and not push to your fastest.
Looking here on track, Caitlin Height, one career ABN Cup Series win, adding on to her numerous wins, 7 of them in the HTL Cup Series, which we see kick off in earnest on Monday at Daytona with the 300 qualifying. We'll see what she can do as warm-up comes to a close. We'll go over the starting grid here tonight in just a moment. You see all the cars wrapping up their warm-up session here. Here's what the starting grid's going to end up looking like. Emily Howe and Caden McKee on the front row. Emily Howe, the points leader. Caden McKee running a part-time schedule here tonight. Ruby Acosta and Josh Gaiman in row 2. They'll follow up on Emily Howe and Caden McKee. The Ruby Acosta with tonight's race can lock herself into the chase for the Cup. Caitlin Height and Nick Pressey in row 3. Nick Pressey locking himself in just by starting tonight's race, while Caitlin Height has some work to do between tonight and next Wednesday at Richmond. Row 4, Lilac Zier and Callie Height. They'll make up the 4th row, 7th and 8th for them. Amity Polsatrix and Philip Snipes in row 10, battling for Rookie of the Year honors at the moment as things currently stand. Bryce Saucier and Emma Kruger in row 6 of this 15-car field, a lighter field with road courses obviously not in some drivers' wheelhouse tonight. Looking at the next row here, Zach McBride and Blake Henderson in row 7. Neither of them set lap times in qualifying. Neither did Selena Thompson, who will start this race at the very back of the field.
You know for a fact that McCruger, obviously, she said that she will elect to start from the pit lane, which she is currently electing to do. So she will take her chances and try to avoid a lap 1 collision, but on the downside, will have to pass a lot more cars.
It's all about avoiding the potential melee in the S's here on under green flag conditions.
And you also don't want to be especially with her running a part-time schedule, not running full-time. She doesn't want to end up taking someone out that maybe is running full-time for a championship. She here's have fun. Doesn't want to ruffle feathers just in case, obviously, not as much practice in this car and this machinery, so she doesn't obviously want to cause any problems.
As they go down the back straightaway here into the bus stop chicane. 13 of the 15 cars present for tonight's event to take the green flag. Kruger in pit lane. We'll pivot to her real quick to see her on pit lane. You see how far back her pit box is. That's going to be another tricky part of this race. Pit entry. Make sure you don't get run over. Also, make sure you don't speed. Saw that have a play in how difficult the race was on Sunday. And we'll see it a little bit, not nearly to the degree that we'll see it tonight, but we'll see it tomorrow night as well in the ABN Champ Car World Series. Coming out of the carousel towards turn 6, bypassing the boot here at Watkins Glen. For the first time, we're not using it across any of our series, really, outside of the sports car programs. Champ Car not using it. Obviously, Cup not using it. None of the ARC series using it. None of the HTL series using it. The pace car will take the right to pit entry here. On green. Once the green flag flies, we go underway. It's the Seneca Lake 110. And the green flag flies. We're underway. Everyone tiptoeing into turn 1.
Everyone gets in relatively smooth, no mistakes for the most part. Few cars are going to go side by side up through the S's.
Trouble for Pressy.
Yeah, went a little wide there. They'll keep it on the racing surface, though.
You lost 3 spots there, just in the S's alone.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on him through turn 1. He didn't look as planted, looked a little wobbly, so maybe not feeling fully comfortable with the car at the moment. Ooh, right there, right in the of Shane there. Car was just a tad wide. That was Polsheviks in that situation right there on the charge.
Yeah.
With Lilacs by ear. Yep.
Yeah, Zier, Polsatrix.
Yeah, I haven't seen Polsheviks in a long time, so and I remember the paint scheme for a second. I was like, yeah, that's the color.
It's a new paint. Yeah, it's a new paint compared to the last time we saw Polsatrix on track here, but going side by side with Zier through turn 7 to finish lap 1. Excited for Watkins Glen, excited for the road courses here. Did well until, unfortunately, had the DNF, had to retire the car early at Sonoma. Trying to do even better here tonight. Currently in between, 2 drivers fighting to be in the playoffs in the chase for the ABN Cup. Front of the field is Emily Howe, who's already opened up a second on Ruby Acosta. Caden McKee down in 3rd, lost a spot early. Now sitting in between Acosta and Caitlin Height as they go down the backstretch into the bus stop for the 2nd time. Everyone mostly single file here at this point in time. Henderson up 4 spots is our biggest gainer, but he will shoot wide on the exit of the bus stop, and that's going to be a slowdown for the 25 machine for Tombstone Motorsports, as there's Saucier in the 07. And then Philip Snipes in the 98 taking it easy, as well as Zach McBride, who's staying in touch. Doesn't rate himself very highly on the road courses, but right now, not losing too much time here as he takes it easy and hopes for a little bit of calamity here. Emma Kruger, it says she's a lap down because he hasn't officially completed a lap yet, but she will once the leaderboard updates. We'll show her as being on the lead lap.
Yeah. Should be worth noting again, Zach Bright in a playoff contention as well. Currently, I think above the cut line, if my math is correct.
Yeah, correct.
So he's in a situation where he doesn't want to throw away points because, remember, one incident, one crash, there's no fast repairs. You are donezo if you total that machine. So it's kind of good for Zach Bride with a little bit of a lower field count because road courses sometimes can do that. It's good just kind of let other cars make mistakes, maybe push in battles, wreck themselves, wreck whatever, and with low caution chances as well at road courses, just kind of sweep up the pieces and get the points you need to get. So I don't hate the strategy Zach Bride. He knows, look, I'm not the fastest. I'm not going to win unless there's divine intervention. Another leg that goes way off there. Gonna have to, at the very least, possible slow down, or at the very least,
it's gonna be a little bit of a slowdown there for Zier trying to get through here, and Kelly Height trying to make her way through as well.
Gonna barge through on that 66. But yeah, just to finish my point, Zach Bride, not a bad strategy. Just kind of survive, get to the end, and get as many points as you can, and gear up for Richmond.
Strix up to the 6th spot, runs a little wide there. Kelly Height still trying to find her way through in that 66 Pontiac. Taking on Zier out of turn 7. Presley watching all this unfold in front. Feigns a look to the inside, and maybe trying to feign a look as a 3 wide. Height, late of the late breakers there, will take 7th place. And the march forward continues for the Queen's Design driver. Her teammate sitting in 2nd place, Ruby Acosta, still setting a safe margin ahead of Caden McKee in 3rd place. Caitlin Height trying to reel in that 27 machine, that battle for 3rd. Staying pretty close between McKee, Height, and obviously the 61 of Josh Gaiman just behind in that blue and yellow machine.
And again, KBC running the part-time schedule, but Caitlin Height also in a situation as well, needing it. So it looks like Blake Henderson had an incident in the just off the bus stop there. Looks like a car has spun.
Oh, there's trouble there. Emma Kruger's also had some sort of issue, but I think that's separate.
No, Emma Kruger. No, it was Emma Kruger and McBride, I believe. Something happens here.
So we'll look at Henderson. Henderson in the 25 sends it in deep on Saucier.
Oh.
Wow.
And then something also happens with Kruger and McBride.
Oh, synchronized spin.
Yeah. I think that was the case. Oh, well, maybe not.
McBride's wide and gets loose and tags Kruger there.
Yeah. And then she keeps it off the wall, and then that's what we saw. Okay. Luckily, very little damage for McBride, Kruger, and
Henderson really the worst for wear there of all of that.
Yeah.
So you'll see a little bit of damage there on that right front. We'll get a better look at it. You see a little bit of wrinkling there from that little bit of contact with that safer barrier.
Gonna affect the downforce.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Pushing very high, cutting it way too close. So we saw Aiden Norman do that on Sunday and actually make a mistake there early on.
Yeah. You saw him plow that wall. We thought it was game over for that 60 machine, but yet it kept going. It kept chugging.
End up resulting in a race win for Norman there. Emily Howe, however, keeping it a lot more tidy as we enter lap 6.
Looks like Philip Snipes had a connection issue. He is currently behind the wall at the moment. We'll see if he does get back. We've got a big battle here forming. As you can see here, all 4 cars kind of under a blanket here. As you got Polshevix, Height, Zier, Pressy, all kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 here fighting. Height has a little bit of a bobble there up the hill that could open door for Zier.
It gets very floaty there, and the worse you are behind the behind dirty air, the harder it gets.
Yeah, looked like she had a chance to run, but just couldn't get the throw off there. You can just see at this point, sometimes it's just kind of right behind, but the dirty air can affect these cars, but maybe put the pressure on the car ahead to try to make a mistake. If you let the car know you're there enough, they'll have to keep pushing hard, and eventually they could force them into an error that you can capitalize on.
This battle very entertaining here, battling for the 6th position. Josh Gaiman in 5th, 3 seconds up the road as they all try to chase down Caden McKee.
Yep, little pockets forming, and then you also got a little 3-way, 4-way pocket as well with Saucier, Kruger, and Henderson back in 10th. So little, like I said, little pockets of 3 and 4. We saw this also at Moteg, even though it was the oval variation, not the road course variation. We saw that last week. We saw little pockets get to form, and that was a caution-free race. And Glen and road courses in NASCAR's sanctioned competition usually provide little to no cautions. But looks like the 89 could possibly make a move, but just a little bit too far back to send a lunge. And you can just see the kind of speed loss there with that basically not committed enough there or not close enough, and that allowed the 94 to kind of reel it back in. But it's one thing to catch, another thing to pass.
Like he turns 6 here to finish lap number 8. Pulstrix, Height, Zier, and Pressy keeping each other honest. For drivers, you can argue more renowned for their road course prowess than their oval prowess. Having a crazy battle as Height goes after Pulstrix, and Height sends it way too deep. Pulstrix bailed out.
Yeah, didn't want to hit it. Oh, she almost hits the tire barrier. Luckily, she will not, but that's going to allow side-by-side up through the S's here.
Zier?
Favoring Zier. And Zier will get the job done, so patience works out for that 89, and she'll get ahead. And now Nicholas Presley going to try to capitalize on the 66 Queens Designs machine as well, but just cannot get the fender in. So Zier the big winner in that exchange.
For now.
Polshevik's the loser. But again, that can easily change with how tight they're running right now. One slight mistake could easily cause another checkup moment or another send, and next thing you know, it reshuffles.
And that's the thing right now with them battling. It's going to slow everyone up and allow Pulstrix back into this. That 59 car. Just hanging on at the moment. Right now. Everyone's still going all the way. And again, remember, the pit window for 2 stops opens on lap 15.
And again, we'll see how many people elect to commit it. I wouldn't be, like, obviously, it's going to be interesting to see who elects to go. So we'll have to hold that thought. Is Pressy going to try to make a move on the 66 of Height?
And got it to work.
Yeah, got the job to work successfully there. So put the 94 up a spot. But to kind of go back to what I'm saying, we know what we saw from obviously different speeds and whatnot. But we saw with pit road speed and intervals, we know from competition, it kind of gave us an outline that you need to be about a 30-second delta within range to take the position there. Is Kaylee Height going to have to take a slow down there? So we know you have to be close. So obviously, drivers like Kruger, Henderson, McBride, Saucier right now at the moment, a little bit too far back to make that one-stop work and take the lead back. But I wouldn't be shocked if Emily Howe tries to 2-stop. Maybe someone like Cade McKeed, Caitlin Height, Josh Gaiman. We know Gaiman likes his alternate strategies. Maybe they try that strategy with the pace and see if they can make it work. And at the same time, we'll see at lap 15 how many drivers elect to maybe just say, screw it, come on in, and try to get the undercut quicker, just so on the grounds of you don't want to wait too long and be a sitting duck like we saw, again, in A-Square competition last week. Advantages of running multiple Watkins Glens is you can call back to simple memories very shortly before. But Zier and Presley have been fighting for multiple laps here. They've passed multiple different cars, and now they're fighting for, instead of 9th position and 8th, they're now fighting for 6th and 7th, respectively.
2 career wins for Nick Presley, who's right on board with the 94 machine. And he's the driver. He won at Long Beach in the High Performance season finale, and he won... Actually, excuse me, not both workhorse wins. He won at Rockingham for Champ Car. That was his first win in ABN. But his most recent did come at Long Beach. Zier's most recent win has also come on road courses as well. And a little bit of contact as there's trouble for Pressy.
Oh, he keeps it safe there. Gonna cause a bit
Both
of a checkup.
of them Zier went wide.
Yeah.
Pressy almost spun. Height goes through. Pulstrix will try to go through as well. Saucier and Henderson in pit lane. Henderson towed to pit lane.
Yeah. Looks like that may have been an incident between the two of them when they were close on the racing surface. So I wouldn't be shocked. Actually, it looks like Saucier lost it on his own.
I'm not seeing any connection there between those two, and Saucier made it back to pit lane on his own.
Yeah, no, there were two different instances. Yeah, Henderson lost it going into one. Saucier lost it in a different section. So, just two separate spins in two separate instances.
Sear in 6th place now, firmly in control, as 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. As one battle opens up, the other battle closes in. Battle for 2nd place ongoing. Acosta, McKee, and Height. From one Height to another, Caitlin Height trying to make into the podium places here. Ruby Acosta took 2nd place on the opening lap. Now struggling to hold on to it.
Yeah, very wide by Ruby Acosta there. Flirting with danger, and that runoff's not going to help her as it's going to open the door for McKee here. Going to have to go the long way around if he wants the spot. But it looks like he'll keep it. Again, Ruby Acosta gets a little loose on inside there. And she'll have to slot back up quickly before Callie can take advantage. And Callie will have to kind of bite her tongue there and wait for an opening to come again. So Kit McKee pumps up to 2nd. And the battle for 3rd heating on. It's nice. Cars aren't going to go away.
Very tight battle here for 2nd place. It's allowed Emily Howell to open up a 10-second gap as McKee's gone through to 2nd place. Caitlin Height going to try to dispatch Acosta as well.
Again, Callie Height has that win. She got it at Talladega, but the downside is right now she's on the outside looking in, needing a good run here to try to jump back up into that top point with her main competition all here tonight. The only advantage right now she has is Blake Henderson is still in the pit right now after his toe. So we'll see if he can get back out there and try to get some points, but at the very least, it is catchable with one race to go. But right now, Callie Height needs a good run to try to give her a chance to go into Richmond with a fighting chance. Blake Henderson is just disconnected. So at the very least, Blake Henderson's not getting any higher than 13th. So mission statement for both Height and Zaire and Zach McBride, knowing what they have to do to try to gain or grow the gap to that 25 machine.
Very tight battling here as Acosta continues to hang on to the tail of Cade McKee. When do drivers blink for pit stops at the front of the field? Window opens here in 2 laps.
Again, we'll get a good tell when that window opens. We'll see, because obviously tire wear, even though it's not that effective here, we'll see this on point where, at the very least, we'll get kind of a good tell of when these cars want to pit and see what's ready on when that window opens. But right now, Ruby Acosta is struggling a bit in traffic. Maybe could use this opportunity to pit for a 2-stop at the very least to give her the opportunity to try to get some clean track and just run her own laps.
Keep an eye on this battle here as it spreads out a little bit. Josh Gaiman reining back in.
But yeah, you are not missing anything up front. Adley Howe has cruised to about a 12-second gap over this battle for 2nd here. Adley Howe has been a strong force at number 83 machine. It's just showing even more here tonight in Watkins Glen. She knows how to get the best out of this machinery, and she's proven it, at least here tonight, right now at the moment. But still a long ways to go. Obviously, mistakes can happen. As Height is still knocking away the door, and it looks like this is going to be the opportunity. She's going to elect. No, she'll not be close enough. She'll slot back in and try to re-challenge, but you can see that she is pouncing on that door and a little wibble there by the 40, and that's going to open the door for Callie Height to get on through. So patience pays off for the 11, and she will slot up the 3rd position. Ruby Acosta now down the 4th, and now Acosta's going to have to fight with Josh Gaiman to stay a little bit higher up in the top 5.
And now Caitlin Height's going to immediately try to reel back in Caden McKee, who gained a lot of time with how long it took Caitlin to get around Ruby Acosta. Acosta was trying to hold on to this podium places, and now it's to try to regain it. See how the strategy call works out now. Costa goes extremely wide, and Josh Gamon's going to make his way through.
It's going to creep on by. So Ruby really struggling here.
Absolutely. As the tires heat up in this battle, we'll show you exactly what the weather looks like right now. The track temp at the start of this race was 93 degrees. Track temp has gone up to 99 degrees. Air temp's gone up by 1 degree, from 79 to 80 degrees. And likewise, the wind has gone up by a couple mile an hour as well.
Yeah, probably make these cars a little bit more upsettled. Stronger wind.
Camera angle there at the edge of the Armco entering the bus stop. Caden McKee with a 2.4 second advantage through this, the carousel here. And inside pit lane goes Caitlin Height and Ruby Acosta.
So they are definitely going the two-stop strategy. Both cars, they're not going to roll the dice, which I don't know if I like the call. In Acosta's case, I don't hate it. In Caitlin Height's case, I'd be more in the strategy to try it, but she's looking for more points here.
I think the gamble is that no one's going to make it, so getting the undercut's probably the smartest way to go about it.
True. And it's risky to make a 25. If you've been saving since the start, you can do it. But again, looking at the intervals right now, you have to be within 30 seconds. Obviously, other drivers pit as well as Callie Height, I should say, and Emma Kruger as well, both come in the pit lane as well. So they are all going for undercuts on that strategy. Again, it's a risky game to try to make a one-stop. And I feel like someone's going to be daring enough in that top 3 right now to try it.
Pressy makes his way around as Kelly Height gets ready to come out of pit lane. Pressy pit a lap earlier and gets around the 66, who now has cold tires to deal with. Caden McKee and Josh Gaiman, they cover off the undercut. There they are going to be in pit lane. Does Zier come in this time? No. Zier does not come in this time, so you'll watch her pass in real time for second place on the track at the moment. Polstrix in the 59 Dodge will also stay out another lap.
Yep. Trying the long con here.
Now it's a matter of where Caitlin Height and Ruby Acosta come out compared to McKee and Gaiman.
Well, I can tell you right now, Emily Howe is coming in this time by, so that 83 is going to pit at the end of this lap here. She's currently coming through the last couple corners. So let's keep an eye on her.
This is a big one here. Caitlin Height in turn 1 gets ahead of Josh Gaiman, but will stay behind Caden McKee, who just now enters the S's here we see from high above.
So the cover-off worked well at the least.
Not a lot of time lost either. Obviously, we'll see how the bus stop handles because cold tires from McKee was completely warmed up tires now for Caitlin Height. But the gap, the time loss is about half a second right now, so that's not bad. Oh, it's going to be a lot more than that through the bus stop. McKee having the tiptoe.
Yeah.
So it's going to be closer to a second loss there. So it's smart. He did the right thing by cutting off Caitlin Height there. Otherwise, Caitlin would have 100% gotten ahead of him if he had stayed out even just one more lap here. Emily Howe, first pit box there for her.
And you can see the fact Ruby Acosta already in the back of Josh Gaiman here. So you can just see the effect of the tiptoeing, and you see Emily Howe coming out. Zaire will stay out. She will inherit the lead. How long will be the question. Oh, Gaiman got a little swoobly there. And that's going to open the door for the 40. 40, though, not going to be close enough to really pinch it into that corner.
Whoa.
Could try to set up for the next one.
Gaiman stays in sixth.
We know she's strong on new tires here. That Pontiac machine's mad quick when it's got fresh rubber. But looks like Gaiman's found his footing there into one, and hoping with that little breathing room he can try to get it going again.
Good running so far.
Look at. You can see, yep, Caitlin Height trying to reel down, which would technically be the bat position 4 right now at the moment. When it all cycles through on pit stops, that will be P2 she's trying to chase down. Is with Zaire pitting, that's going to let Emily Howe take the lead back. I mean, the only car that's not pitted yet is Polshevik's, and she now comes on in. So now everyone has pitted one time so far this race for the cars that are still running.
And that means everyone's got at least one more pit stop to make.
Yep, no one is going to try the one-stop strategy here. Maybe they couldn't hit it. Maybe the numbers weren't feasible. Maybe it would have been enough pace, but no one will elect to try it this season around. McKee will be put up the second, Height third, Gaiman fourth, Ruby Costa fifth. But the lead will be handed back to the number 83 in Emily Howe.
Caitlin Height still trying to reel in. McKee has been working on that. Less than a second now, the gap. Before pit stops, it was 2.5. It's a huge chunk of change being taken out of that 27 car.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's in the same boat.
Yep. Everyone will have to pit one more time within this next 25 laps to make it to the end. Some will pit obviously earlier than others. Question is how quickly when the window opens to make it to the end do you like to come in, because the range is advantage. You'll get the undercut. The problem is, though, at the end is that the tires will wear, and you'll have worn rubber to try to get to the end, which, unlike we've seen in the next-gen cars, not favorable in these machines with a handful going through things. You'll have to tiptoe more, and you'll be a lot slower. So it's a game of chicken, if you will. Who will blink first and come in when the window opens?
$25 laps to go here at Watkins Glen, in what should be a very rapid race here tonight.
Yep. At the rate we're going, it is going to be 2 straight weeks where caution-free racing. Now, obviously, let's not counter tricks with a hatch. That can obviously change, but with the spacing right now and the instant rules for a caution, the likelihood isn't high that we will get one.
I'll show you where everyone's at on track here using the track map.
Yep. You can see right now, 10 cars are currently on the lead lap right now from Emily Howe to Polshevik's. Zach McBride, only car right now, 1 down at the moment. And 11 cars are currently running. 4 cars have retired. Saucier, Henderson, Snipes, and Thompson. 1 for connection, 2 for instances, and Thompson did not take the flag. And with the playoffs, the cut end for the playoffs next week at the end of Richmond, we will know the 12 cars fighting for a championship. And with some drivers in this race on that cut line, every point matters that you can get in trying to keep your spot in that top 12 if you're currently there.
Again, looking at this battle for position here, Emily Howe set the fast lap of the race. Kate McKee has turned on the jets to extend the gap back to 2 seconds. With Gaiman in 4th, behind Height, Ruby Acosta in 5th. Do the track map up there for everyone to see where everyone's at on track now as we enter the second half of this race. Howe in the 83, McKee in the 27, Height in the 11.
So watch Callie Height, Reel, and McKee here trying to anyway. I'm keeping still an eye on Gaiman and Acosta. I'm watching it as Acosta's keeping it close. As you can just see, all four still under a blanket here. Keeping an eye on something here. I'm going to see if it happens here at the end of this lap. I've got something down the pipeline here. It looks like that was false information as we still keep going on. So we'll cut back here a little bit battle here. We got Nicholas Pressey and Callie Height here fighting hard. Battle for 6 here at the moment. Again, Pressey, hometown race for him in that number 94. Looking to put on a good showing, try to stay in the top 6, maybe try to get a top 5 if he can catch up to Ruby Acosta. But that is going to be a tall ask for that Home Depot machine.
Everyone tiptoeing around turn 7. Battle's raining in closer.
And Callie is basically pushing the gears here, that 94 machine. She thinks she's faster than that Pontiac, and she's going to try to rip it around in an unconventional spot. You only see cars try to rip it just off the S there. She's hoping to clear before she gets in the bus stop. She will. Cuts the doors shut. Nice and quick. No answer back by the 94, so put the 66 up a spot. 94 down 1, and he'll fall down the 7th. Emma Kruger in right now at the moment, so it looks like she may be one of the first cars here to blink. It looks like she had a few off tracks, so we'll see if that is a scheduled stop or a damage repair stop for that number 10. And it looks like being a 5, actually, looks like she disconnected. So that was not a scheduled stop. That is a race-ending stop for her. And we'll in turn also promote Sacrifice up the position up to 10th. Still focused on this battle for P2. Callie Height has caught Cade McKeed here. He's reeled in that purple and blue number 27. But I think we've already said multiple times this season, one thing to catch, it's another thing to pass. And you can just see Callie Height's kind of licking her chops here. She's going to try to find a way around it. She can get a little closer and see what she can do.
Yeah, Caitlin Height trying to get that second spot. Seeing what she can do here before the second round of pit stops begin. The battle rages on throughout the race here. Also raging on still is that battle for 6th place. Height and Pressey still inseparable at the moment as it stands.
And they're going to have some help here soon. You can see just in the distance, that number 89 machine of Zaire. She's lurking. She's only a couple seconds back. They keep scrapping. They keep fighting. She'll join the fray. She'll get her boxing shoes on.
Going up to the S's here in this battle for 6th place.
Is the 47 McBride, but I was keeping an eye on the battle for 2nd here. So Pride had a spin in front of him, and there you can see right there, it was through the bus stop, but you can see Callie Height was able to capitalize on that spin, that little checkup moment, and that's going to open the door for the 11.
Yeah, Caitlin Height doing a fantastic job. Getting a little bit of luck there, but now it's all about finesse. McKee holding on to it, but pressure now tighter than ever as Height's not far away from Gaiman and Acosta either. Caitlin Height looking for a 2nd place result here. Emily Howe's got 20 seconds on this battle as Cade McKee slow out of turn 1. Side by side through the S's now.
How hard should she get the elbows out here? How aggressive does the 11 want it? She'll have the run. Gaiman there in the distance.
Yeah, Gaiman's going to make sure that there's a lot of pressure going through the bus stop here. Into the bus stop. Oh, Gaiman. Almost a perfect bus stop there. McKee ran a little wide, ran wide in the carousel. And side by side here, McKee's going to hold on to second, it looks like, just by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, Gaiman couldn't finish the job there, but right there is a good example of when it rains, it pours, when something can snowball. Because one little incident in the first corner, and I think we've said, is that this is a track that is very line dependent or mistake free. Like you have to be perfect in a lot of corners. Momentum based, thank you. In that point is that one slight mistake in momentum, and that kind of caused a snowball effect that allowed the 27 now to be under pack here from the 61.
And you see the 4-car battle here for the second position as Height tries to pull away. She's got the advantage that she needs now as McKee still can't really focus solely on trying to catch the 11, has to focus on making sure that he keeps defending from the 61, who keeps having phenomenal turns, despite how loose that car looks going up the S's. Car doing a phenomenal job. Almost level footing. In this battle for the second position, almost the battle for third now as Height tries to pull more and more away through the bus stop. McKee still running a little bit wide through the bus stop, trying to get a good arc here through the carousel. Gets it this time. Couldn't get it settled last time. But Gaiman is in the draft, and Acosta in the wings, like what Gaiman was when Height went through.
And it should be worth noting, we still got one more pit stop here as well, so
Yeah.
as that window comes closer and closer, who's in this battle here for second? Who elects maybe to come in early, go for the undercut, and maybe try to hang on for what they need to?
Three-car battle here is Zier on fresher tires. Goes after the 94 Pressy and will take the 7th spot. With eyes now set on the 66 of Cali Height.
Yeah, I saw that kind of lurking for a little bit in the distance. You could see her a couple laps back. We were covering that battle. You could see her in the distance kind of watching. She was like, she could catch back up, use the fresh tires, and she's showing she can. Up one spot. Not going to allow Cali Height to go too far up the road either. Going to try to make it a 2-for-1 special in that number 89. Blue light special, if you will. 2-for-1 on Mountain Dew.
Cali Height going through the bus stop here. Zier still defending from Pressy, who's trying to stay close here, but a really good battle all the way through. Battle for second and a battle for 6. All of it still hot here at Watkins Glen with 16 laps to go.
Again, this is the battle for second as Emily Howe is, as you can see on the time, scoring about 22 seconds up the road. She is putting in a masterclass performance at number 83. Hasn't put a foot wrong, which, again, hat tip to her. She knows how to drive these things, knows how to drive these road courses, and she's making it known here.
She's done a fantastic
only way we see
job.
her lead, only way we see her lead get challenged if she makes a mistake at the moment.
That's very hard to do as McKee is caught up to Caitlin Height. The 11 under threat from the 27.
He wants his P2 back.
That's where he started.
Feels like he has, he feels like he has a slightly faster car. Looking at last lap times, for example, he is slightly faster now.
He's just not consistently faster at the moment.
Yeah. Consistency, what matters. It's sometimes better to be consistent one pace and fast the other way. Gaiman had a little slip there, losing a little time. He's looking to try to get on that step of the podium.
This is the closest battle on track, and there's 4 cars in it.
Yep. Really got 2 major battles to watch here. We got this one, obviously our main one here for the podium, steps of the podium and the top 5. How will they shuffle out? And then you got the second battle here. You just cut to, we can see Cali Height trying to hang on to P6 with a fresher tire. Zaire and Nicholas Presley in the distance as well. As Presley actually going to pit here. He'll be the first to blink. He likes his chances with an undercut.
With 15
he will come
to go,
on in.
the window is open. It makes sense.
And we got back, and you can see right there, good run by the 27. Not going to send it to the bus stop unless he has a death wish.
Yeah, there's just no room there to make anything happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things. You can't really go too wide unless someone makes a mistake going into the bus stop. You can't force it too wide on the entry at all. Not in these cars. Someone's going to lose out big time on that, and it's usually always the person that draws the contact. Pressy comes out of pit lane. He'll lose a lap to Emily Howe provisionally, but he'll get that lap back when Emily Howe makes her final stop.
Yeah. Right now, the only car chance to go down. Gaiman in the pit lane. We'll just see right there. So Gaiman going to be in this first battle we're watching on track, the higher up one. He will be the one that elects the pit, going for the undercut. Likes his chances. And he will he'll roll the dice and see if the undercut works for him. Battle for 6 here, heating up. Zaire has caught the back of Height. Height maybe coming in.
Oh, no, Zaire comes in. Lilac Zaire decides to pit early despite having the advantage on the tires. Interesting call.
Yeah. Maybe she didn't want to lose time, but she could have maybe got around and then covered it off. Who knows? But Zaire's trying a different strategy here. Had to her on that one. It's only going to be a 10-second stop there. Obviously, less fuel taken because she obviously pitted later. So she will have the advantage on stop here. You can see right now traffic affecting, so it may cause one of these cars to blink here because that's Gaiman's kind of smiling right now. You can see Height coming in. Cade McKay not going to come in. So that traffic could cause a little bit of a hiccup here. We'll keep an eye on Gaiman. Keep an eye on the mini-map right now. Just outside the bus stop, coming down the second long straight. Just for the end of the second sector.
And Callie Height also comes in. So both Caitlin and Callie Height in pit lane at the moment as it sits. Caitlin Height in her pit box right now. Callie Height has that long travel down pit lane at 40 miles an hour.
Okay, Height going to be out of her box in a couple seconds here. It looks like she is leaving now. She'll pull away. Gaiman just crossed start finish line. I think it's going to be the 61s, but the 11's going to have the shorter way around here. This is going to be close.
Remember, Caitlin Height's going to have cold tires.
So that's going to give Gaiman the advantage through the bus stop. We saw Cade McCown had to tiptoe through.
Took a while to get around Polstrix there, so he's going to lose him more time before his pit stop here.
Yeah, he'll probably have to come in this time by, try to cover off what he can get. No point in running long here.
No, he's going to try to go longer.
Interesting call.
See if it pays off. Acosta in.
The only cars that have not taken their second stop yet are in this major battles we're watching is Emily Howe and obviously Polsheviks and McBride. Yeah. Howe, McKee, and Polsheviks, the major runners, have not made their last pit stop yet. Well, yeah. The car's still running. Speaking of Emily Howe, there she is with 12 to go. Yeah, I haven't seen much of that car, but there's a reason we haven't seen much of that car. She's been so ahead of everything else. There's not been much to really focus on with her in that regard. Costa in, you could just see the advantage time gain right there. Both the 11 and the 61 zoom past her. And she wasn't that far away. Like, she was maybe 2.5 seconds back. And she's going to come out way behind this battle here in regard. So if that's the fate for the 40, what's going to be in style for the 27? Zach Bright also in right now at the moment.
And McKee's going to come in here.
Yep, so we're going to see the ill effects. This is going to be an interesting call here.
There's Caitlin Height and Josh Gaiman. Out of the carousel.
The only advantage Cade McKee has is that he can take a little less fuel in the car for the stop because less distance to go. But since it's a 4-tire stop anyway, you're going to be sitting there for a minimum time.
And McKee just got to his box, and they're already in the last corner.
Yep. He would have to have a miracle stop. He would need basically from the first car, so he'll have any chance getting out. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, he's not even rolling yet. It is over.
He's rolling now. He's actually going to probably lose a spot to even Ruby Acosta.
Potentially.
Actually, he'll hang on to Ruby Acosta. Look at that.
Remember, Acosta has warmer tires now, and remember how much time McKee lost on cold tires.
Mm-hmm. Gaiman did the same thing, gained on height a little bit as well. So yeah. He's gonna have to. He's gonna catch 22. His 10 laps are gonna have to be fast laps if he wants to catch.
And then there's the difference between catching
and passing.
Absolutely. Now in pit lane, so cars will get laps back here. In this process, McBride gets out of the way of this battle for the 4th position. Acosta with warm tires. McKee runs really wide. Acosta side by side, entering turn 6. And they'll stay side by side through 6. Into 7.
Mm-hmm.
Is there contact? Do they draw contact? Almost.
Almost indeed. You can put a paper clip between the two of them.
McKee survives that first lap. Through turn 1. Keeping it nice and tidy. But you see the gap now between McKee entering turn 2 and Caitlin Height at the top of the hill. 6 seconds lost by McKee. He will fall out of the podium places.
Mm-hmm. Again, we saw that keep coming back A squared, but it's worth noting, we calling back to it, we saw that same strategy happen with the top 2 with Aiden Norman and the 22 machine, if I'm not mistaken. I forget the name off the top of my head. But in that regard, they had... Thank you, Proudfoot. And it was a situation where they were fighting, and Proudfoot did not cover off the undercut, and in turn ended up losing so much time that he just couldn't capitalize to get back to Aiden Norman. He had the machine to stay up with him in the situation, but just didn't play the strategy right. And similar strategy in the 27. It's not an insult. It's just sometimes you got to try to cover it off in that regard. And 27 took his chances, rolled his dice, and it didn't work out for him. But he still got time. He's got 9 laps in fresh tires, a little bit fresher than the cars ahead to try to reel down the 61-11. But with fall off being farther down the timetable, don't like the odds that he can do that within the remaining distance. Maybe he can still get a podium, but getting back to P2 is going to be a tall task.
It absolutely will be. Polstrix making her final stop. She'll stay in the 9th position as things stand at the moment. A good result for her here tonight. You see the battle 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th all in one frame shot there. And just how much work McKee has to try to get back to the podium places here. Acosta staying close, staying honest with McKee in the top 5. Again, this is the last road course race of the season. Emily Howe just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:11.59 for the race leader. With about 10 minutes left overall in this race with how things currently look. Again, this is the closest battle on track as it currently stands. Callie Height went off track. That was in, I believe, the carousel. But back on track there for the 66, who sits in 8th place. Well adrift of the 94 of Nick Pressey. Battle for 4th still raging on. McKee trying to pull away. Acosta doing a way better job in the carousel than McKee, as things currently stand.
We know we know Ruby Acosta, I should say, very strong on fresher tires. We've seen that happen countless times throughout this run. Her only kind of kryptonite here at Watkins Glen is she's really struggled longer the run. So right now, Acosta's best chance is now to try to get that spot and hang on.
Another fastest lap by Emily Howell. A 10th faster that time, 111.49. Battles spread out just a little bit more with 6 laps to go. McKee draws closer to Gaiman. Gaiman taking it easy on those older tires, but 3 laps older. With 6 laps to go here. And this could be a very interesting fight for the last spot on the podium tonight. With 6 laps remaining. Howe, Height, Gaiman, McKee, Acosta. Top 5, 0 and 6. The distance 6. Then it's Pressey and Callie Height.
Yeah, McCade is coming. Looks like he is reeling in game, and he still wants to try to get that last step of the podium. Thinks he can get it. It's, again, going to be a tall ask to try to get to the 2nd spot, but he's coming. While this battle breaks down, we do have a battle also for 6 with Zaire and Pressey. Pressey is also caught the 89. Another driver that loves the short run. We can speak of 94. We've seen it countless times this season. He's a great short run car, great at the pace. Probably main kryptonite. Not really good on the long run. He's taking advantages right now in this short dash to the finish. So here goes a bit wide. That could open the door for the 94 here to get a run to go off in the 1. Yeah, he is there. He is going to get the run. How bad does he want it? Looks like he'll tuck back in line a little bit too far back.
Two battles here to focus on the last 4 laps of this race. This battle for 6th place and the battle for 3rd. Heating up here between Gaiman and McKee. Gaiman having to tiptoe through the last corner. McKee's going to have a really good opportunity into 1. Really going to have a couple really good opportunities through 1 and then into the bus stop. Way more planted out of turn 1. You just got to sit tight and tidy through the S's and get to the top of the hill.
Yep, and then set up. It's about setting up. You don't have to force. You force it, you're going to be in a situation where you can't get it back. You can have to. It's about setting your moves, picking your spots, and going for it when you have the opportunity. Looks like he feels daring now. He's going to try it. Put the pressure on the 61, but the 61 going to shut the door off.
Very tidy in that defense from Gaiman.
Respectfully tidy.
And remember, Ruby Acosta right there in the wings if something goes wrong.
Yep. Right now,
3 laps to go.
Caitlin's the only one smiling as they're battling. Allows her to get some more distance.
Almost assures that she'll finish 2nd in this race. Phenomenal action so far. Gaiman, McKee, hanging it all out there with 3 to go. McKee having to sort of rally back up forward. And now he's got to keep an eye on the mirror. With a handful of laps to go. It has been a phenomenal race at the front. Battle for the last podium spot. Gaiman got loose, really loose.
Ooh.
And it checked up McKee, who's going to have a really good run to the inside. Gaiman holds on to it.
He's going to be a
Side
little
by
bit long.
side, and they're going to both slide a little bit wide. Acosta now firmly in the mix. McKee loses out the most.
Yep. Okay, McKee was a little bit closer, but that checkup caused that ill effect there.
Gaiman on older tires.
Mm-hmm. He knows he can get around Caden. It feels like he's faster. But he's got to set up for the corner he thinks he's the best at. There's not many passing zones in Watkins Glen you can really truly feel comfortable going around, but he's got to pick one with these next 2 laps here to try to make something happen. About to be 1 lap because Emily Howe, yes, 2 laps here to try to make something happen. Pick your spot, pick your corner, set up for it, and that's going to be your chance at getting third position, I should say.
Yeah, Costa right here in that mix as well. Keep an eye on that 40 car. Oh, they both get loose and they both check up in the middle of the S's. And that brings Acosta right back into it. And for the first time in 3 laps, Gaiman's going to have a little bit of breathing room going into the bus stop as McKee can't get to him. McKee trying to back up the corners a little bit, trying to get one more really good run. Emily Howe's taking the white flag, so 1 lap to go is what we're coming to for this battle for third. Emily Howe in the S's now. She got half a lap advantage on this battle. So McKee's going to know now this is his last opportunity if he wants a podium tonight.
Yep. Like I said, pick a spot, pick a corner. He's not going to get a good run here off into 1. He'll be a little bit too far back, so he's going to have to probably pick one of the remaining corners, pick something up. If you can try to get close enough, set up for it and
really
go.
He's only going to have really one good opportunity here if things are going to keep as they are. Gaiman knows he can back up McKee in the S's here. That's what he did last time.
And kill the run.
Gaiman's got to keep it nice and tidy here as they go up the hill. Emily Howe in the last corner.
Yep, she's about to come across and win this race. This is the battle for second. We'll cut to that in a second. This is going to be an opportunity for a pass.
Not here.
Nope.
Emily Howe takes the checkered flag. We will not pivot from this battle. For third place, the last spot on the podium. Oh, this is going to be one last major opportunity for Caden McKee to try to go for the race podium.
How bad does he want it? He's
going to
have the
send
front
it
line.
in. Oh, McKee gets turned. He gets turned by Gaiman.
He tried to clear there. You could see he tried to cut up. Gaiman was there. Acosta going to try to challenge. Acosta's not going to finish it. Gaiman will bring it home in third. Ruby Acosta fourth. It almost seems like a situation, they'll both come third and fourth, like I just said, but it was almost a situation where it felt like he tried to finish it off there. He tried to shut the door, and he got hooked on the 61's nose. At least that's how I saw it in the moment. Maybe we'll get a quick look at the replay.
We'll see it afterwards.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Emily Howe entered the night with 5 career wins in the series. Make it 6. Phenomenal racing for Emily Howe. Picture perfect for the 83 machine. Kaylin Height, second place finish for her tonight. Gaiman and Acosta round at the top 4. McKee in 5th. A wild finish there. So we'll look at this battle here. This entire final lap. We'll see if we can get a better camera angle for it for you. This was Gaiman, McKee, and Acosta. In the second half of the lap, Gaiman cut it a little bit tight in the bus stop, but no slowdown for him.
Yep, and you can see right now, he runs the corner he needs to, gets the good run off, and that sets him up by the opportunity. Gaiman gets a little loose, and that's going to allow that 27 a chance. Game on, he thinks. He's going to run down here. Now the question is, can he outbrake and clear or try something? Keep an eye on the nose here on the front. We'll stop it here.
Yeah, we'll go slow motion as McKee sends it in.
Gaiman's turning for the corner.
I think Gaiman draws the contact there on McKee.
Yeah. No, he did, because he was turning into the corner. to try to maybe he was thinking the over-under, maybe let him send himself off and then cut in. But the problem was Cade McKee didn't finish it by the time Gaiman turned in, and Gaiman basically kind of hooked him the other direction.
Well, right on board with Ruby Acosta for this last lap here. Obviously, McKee's going to be upset with how that finished for him. He was looking at a potential podium and walks away with 5th. But we'll see how Ruby Acosta saw it on her perspective from the Queen's design on board. Wild stuff here in this battle for 3rd position.
Yeah, you can see Gaiman turning in, and then kind of hooked. And then see Ruby thinks she has a chance here. She's going to get the run, but has to go the long way around.
Yeah.
Tries that break, and that was that. Like, she had one chance there, and if she could got the inside, I think she had a better chance. But yeah, she won't be happy. She'll be happy with the P4 though.
Yeah, that'll be pretty much it. Is Emily Howe at the start-finish line celebrating another win here in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. A good run to form there for the 83 machine.
I mean, she probably won't be the happiest. We didn't give her as much coverage to cross the line and burning it down, but with other things to cover. But yeah, so we're cutting to her now. We'll let her have her moment in the sun here before we have our interviews.
Well, actually, we'll go ahead and talk to Emily Howe, our race winner. Emily, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Hello.
What a drive. Near perfection here at Watkins Glen for you in the 83 machine tonight. Made it seem easy with one race to go before the chase for the cup begins. Obviously, we just kind of walked through how clinical this race was for you.
Definitely a fun race. You know, got out to a decent lead pretty early and just kind of kept putting in laps. And really, you know, I was on a strategy of just split it halfway and then keep going. But I realized at that point that I had a big enough lead to where I really didn't have to worry about cars behind me. But I did want to have a perfect race and, you know, get every lap led and really secure every single point possible. And so I decided to stay out and then kind of play an audible to just pit when the last car pit and get that, make sure no one else stole that lap led.
Yeah, it was, again, I think this is probably the first Grand Slam of 2023, just in how perfect this race was. You talk about how fun this race is. You look at Richmond next week, short oval racing. What are you expecting as far as next week's race? Obviously, some short oval racing. It's going to be some lap traffic for sure for everybody tomorrow, next weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a wild card. You know, short tracks are short tracks, so chaos reigns, and so it's going to be a battle of making sure that we, or that I, you know, just keep it clean and just don't come into the chase with any penalties of any sort, and just, you know, I don't see any way that someone could mathematically take that first seed going into the playoffs or the chase-offs. So.
Yeah, you've already locked the number 1 seed down. You locked that down 2 weeks ago. Just phenomenal for consistency all season long there for the 83 machine. Obviously, the playoffs beginning after Richmond next week. Going to be a very entertaining race next week, as obviously you're pretty well locked in. Some other drivers behind you locked in as well tonight as well. But obviously, before I let you go and kind of let you cool down, it was a blistering 45-lap race tonight. If there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours, Emily. Congratulations on another phenomenal win. Picture perfect tonight here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, it's always going to give a big shout out to Prismatic Motorsports, all of our sponsors, you know, and then obviously ABN for putting this all together, AdminBoxx for sponsoring the series, and everyone who shows up every week and provides some good racing for the fans here.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff here tonight. Emily, congratulations on another win here in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. Very enjoyable watching that 83 car just continue to put in picture-perfect laps. Like example of how that car drives here at Watkins Glen. Enjoy the race win, and we'll be seeing you very soon at Richmond.
Awesome. See you next week.
That was Emily Howe, race winner here tonight. We'll move on down the list here. Caitlin Height, second place. A good result for her. Really good battle for Caitlin Height, obviously, in that battle for the second position in all the podium spots here, really, here this evening. Katie, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy.
Hi, hello.
What a battle. It obviously worked out in your favor here tonight. Second place here, and very much an assist there going into the last race of the regular season. But walk through that battle. It seemed pretty fierce there for most of it.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, it was really sort of felt like a tire battle. I knew that I was much better through the final half of the lap with compared to those in front of me than I was in the first half. I did not know how to effectively get up through the S's, and I would lose time like turn one up through the S's, but then the bus stop all the way to the start finish line, I would just close back up. So I really haven't been able to put an entire lap together, but I tried. My whole goal was just to try and stay within like 30 seconds of Emily at the end there, but missed it by 0.4. But outside of that, it was a tough race. It almost sort of reminded me of like, you know, what Formula One is right now, except we were beat by skill instead of just car specs.
Yeah, Emily seemed nearly unbeatable tonight just with how quick her blistering laps were. But we go to Richmond next week, and the last time we were on a short oval, you and Emily had an amazing battle. Obviously, that was back at Bristol. Do you think you've got a chance to probably run that back and possibly get the advantage and get another race win before the regular season comes to a close?
I have no idea right now. Richmond is a completely different beast from Bristol, and right now, just from my experience in other cars and other series, the back end's just going to want to come around out of 2 and 4, so that's going to be a whole lot of rear tire management, and that's one of the things that I'm just not really great at, and it's sort of like showcased here tonight as well. I just do not have the performance level in this car that others do around me, so it's just, I'll just have to see and find out, I guess, when it comes to Wednesday.
Obviously, you did a phenomenal job here tonight, and obviously, between now and next Wednesday, you got qualifying for HTL, the Daytona 300, coming up there on Monday night. But before we let you go, and obviously let you get ready for the next week of racing coming up, if there's anyone I should out and say thank you to, Katie, the floor is yours. Congrats on a phenomenal podium here tonight at Watkins Glen.
Thanks. I want to give a shout out to Digitally Fresh, Castrol Edge, TMR Racing Machine, and Taylor Mills for bringing me on board. Also want to thank all the fans and support of Callie and Lexi and Chrissy and everyone else that may or may not be in chat right now. But yeah, that's if I'm missing anyone, I'm sorry, but yeah, this was just a physical race.
It absolutely was. As many people kind of expected, we had that example on Sunday, and it proved this so the case here tonight. Katie, enjoy the podium finish tonight. Obviously, a huge week coming up ahead. Take a chance to relax and cool off, and we'll be seeing you very soon.
All right, thanks.
That was Caitlin Height, second place finisher here tonight. We'll keep the interviews going. We'll talk to third place finisher Josh Gaiman and his perspective on how that final lap went with him en route to a fourth place finish and being one step closer to being in the chase for the cup. Josh, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Got a copy.
Gotcha.
What a race. Phenomenal. You were in the thick of it all race long. Obviously, the talking point is going to be that last lap race with Cade McKee and Ruby Acosta. Walk through your perspective there. Obviously, we saw that you and Cade were talking at some point right after the race finished, but kind of just walk through what you both talked about and obviously how, the perspective on your end.
I mean, yeah, we were pretty much talking the whole race, you know, just kind of relaxing and trying to get to put good laps in and everything. There was nothing, you know, intentional between either of us. It was just, you know, he sent it in hard on the braking point and I gave him a lane and he needed a lane and a half. to not, really get into me there, with, braking on the marbles and everything. He just misjudged the braking point. And whenever I hit him, I figured we would just both go up off the track, and then there was it looked on my end, it looked like a little bit of netcode where it just snaps his car backwards and sends him into the weeds. But yeah, definitely wasn't anything intentional between either of us, and there's nothing going on to next week. We're just having fun and racing hard.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun watching that battle here tonight between both of you, but really between all four of you, Acosta and Katie there. All four of you battling for the podium places there, strategy-wise. You end up with that podium spot. Walk through the strategy. It looks like tire was the supreme factor there, and obviously, how important was that undercut for you?
It's definitely really big. With this car, it just seems like the undercut is king, really. With my win at Motegi, I was just undercutting the entire race, and had over 5 seconds by the end of it. So I mean, if you can make it work, then I mean, it's pretty much that's the way to go. But I mean, if you screw it up, especially on a road course, I think it's probably less about the undercut and more about just keeping everything under the car.
Obviously, it worked out tonight again. A really phenomenal battle there with the 61 machine, finishing third place tonight. A lot closer to securing your spot in the chase for the championship here in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. Before I let you go and kind of let you unwind and relax, obviously a busy week for you coming up. Obviously, racing, coming up, I think, Saturday and Sunday with ARCs. Just across the board there, and then Monday qualifying for the HTL Daytona 300 there. A lot of busy stuff, and we're probably going to be seeing you tomorrow here at Watkins Glen for the ABN Champ Car World Series. So before I let you get ready for all of the racing coming up this week, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Josh, the floor is yours. Congratulations on a phenomenal drive to P3.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to everyone at Stepping Stone. I know Zach's been trying to learn these road courses, and this is the worst car to learn it. But no issues tonight really, except for I think like a spin or something I saw. I couldn't see if it was him or not. That was a stop, but everyone's working hard, and everyone I think so far has been improving. Nobody's really been working their way backwards, so it's been good to see. Shout out 213 Simware, McConey Setup Shop, W Energy. Everyone there has been really supportive and pretty awesome. Shout out for you for putting this series on. It's been an absolute blast to drive something that hasn't really been, in the foreground for a long time now. So it's definitely been fun. A little frustrating at times, but I think that's just the car, really.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun with Richmond, obviously, next week, and then the playoffs, the chase for the cup beginning after that. Still got one more race to seal the deal and get into championship contention here. Josh, again, congratulations on the podium. Hopefully we get to see you do it again tomorrow night in the Champ Car World Series race here. But until next time, until I guess 24 hours from now, I guess we will see you later, and hope to see even more of the 61 car on the podium this weekend.
Do what we got to do.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
Yep.
That was Josh Game in third place finish tonight for the Stepping Stone Motorsports driver, bringing home that P3 and even more points towards the chase for the ABN Cup. We got one more interview tonight, and that is that of Ruby Acosta for Queen's Design. 4 teams, 4 different drivers in the top 4 here tonight. We'll hear her perspective as she had a chance to battle for that podium there and came just a little shy. Ruby, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy, yeah.
What a race. Phenomenal battling all night long in this 45-lap race. Walk through your perspective. You had a front row seat for just about everything tonight.
Yeah, I wish I was a lot closer, to be honest. I just really couldn't get... I couldn't really get to grips with the car, especially... I feel like I was doing great in the first stint, and then I just sort of bled time off because I just really didn't know what to do. Everybody else was doing something else I wasn't. So, yeah, I was just really frustrated for the rest of the race. I did get a better opportunity once I believe in the last lap where Cade and Joshua were battling and they had that little get together, and I nearly got Joshua, but I was just sort of on the outside. I got pushed to the outside a bit, and I didn't really have any choice, and I didn't get the momentum, and obviously I got fourth. So yeah, I feel like I'm a little disappointed in myself for not really getting any more pace out of it. It's weird to say, but yeah, like I'm honestly a little disappointed in myself. But fourth place is fourth, and I think I'm already in a pretty good place for the chase.
Yeah, absolutely locked in now officially. Like if there was any doubt, mathematically locked in, and now second place in the points here with one race to go in the regular season. Richmond next week coming up. How are you feeling going into that race? Some short oval racing. Do you think that number 40 car, do you think Queen's Design as a whole has a chance to possibly replicate this or possibly get a podium before the regular season comes to a close?
I'm hoping so. I'm usually a lot stronger on short tracks. I feel like have had my best results on road courses and short tracks. So, yeah, hopefully at Richmond we could find hopefully at Richmond I can feel a lot better about my performance, because today I was just I'm just pretty frustrated with myself, I guess. But we'll see what comes next week.
Well, tonight was a phenomenal effort. Another top 5 finish here for you for Queen's Design. Just a phenomenal effort. At this point, you've got 5 of the last 6 races are all top 5 finishes. So phenomenal performance there for the number 40 machine. Before I let you go and obviously let you unwind and relax here from a pretty exhausting race overall here, is anyone I should out and say thank you to? The floor is yours, Ruby. Congratulations on an amazing performance tonight.
Thank you. Obviously, thank you to sponsors, WellNet Designs, Racing Heart Universe. Thank you to Nor for giving me this opportunity for the team, and thank you to Callie for being along with me and helping me with the car, and Emily also helping me. So thank you, Emily. And yeah, I think that's it. Shout out to whatever. Shout out to Kaine, always giving me support. So thank you, Kaine. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Ruby, congratulations again. Really good performance with 1 week to go in the regular season. You are guaranteed to be in the chase for the cup here coming up in a few weeks' time. Enjoy it, and we'll be seeing you very soon at Richmond.
See ya.
That was Ruby Acosta, 4th place finisher here tonight. We'll walk through the full finishing order here at Watkins Glen. The Seneca Lake 110 wrapped up here. Emily Howe, 6th win of the season out of 11 races. Phenomenal performance there by the Prismatic Motorsports machine. Caitlin Height finishing in 2nd ahead of Josh Gaiman. Ruby Acosta, we heard from all the top 4, with Caden McKee finishing in 5th. Lilac Sear finishing in 6th ahead of Nick Pressey and Callie Height. All 3 of those cars had a phenomenal battle there just outside the top 5 all night long as well. It was battling in bunches across this 45-lap race. Amity Polstrix finishing in the 9th position, a top 10, well earned for the Canadian driver, ahead of Zach McBride, who gets a top 10 result as well here at Watkins Glen. Emma Kruger, Blake Henderson, Bryce Saucier, Philip Snipes, and Selena Thompson round out the 15-car field, our DNFs for tonight's event. A lot of action coming up here. We have racing tomorrow night here at Watkins Glen, the ABN Champ Car World Series, with 4 races to go in that season. Can anyone stop Bruno Miranda? We find out tomorrow night. Saturday, the ARC's Midwest Barbecue Saturday Night Showdown heads to Milwaukee for a race at the Milwaukee Mile. And then Sunday, going to be a very big one. The regular season finale for the ARC's A-Square Cup Series. Myself, Kevin Young, and Christina Ryan will be on the call for that regular season race at the High Banks on Sunday evening. But that's the next few days in preview here at ABN. We appreciate you all spending your Wednesday evening with us here on ABN Esports 1. On behalf of everyone here for AdminBoxx, E83 Flying Machines, for everyone here at ABN Studios, Michael Commentator, Kevin Young, I'm Carmen Sienna. Thank you all so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay cool. We'll be seeing you very soon once again. We'll see you this weekend at Milwaukee. But until then, so long, everybody.